So about a year ago, I did a video on Battle of the Bots, all about the different AI platforms and which one I thought was best at the time. A lot has changed in the AI space over the past year. I thought it was a good time to update the video. I've used a lot of AI platforms over the past 2 years. I've used ZappyChat, CloseBot, Aminos, Consolidata, Vappy, and Make. There's probably 4 or 5 others that I'm just can't think of off the top of my head. But for me, there's one that stands out above and beyond all the others. It's what I use exclusively. It's not only super powerful, it is very flexible and customizable, easy to use. And quite honestly, the developer, the guy who runs the platform, Jordan, is one of the smartest and most forward-thinking people I know. Now, I'm about to show the screen. We'll walk into it. I'll explain everything. To give you some context, in less than 12 months or maybe 14 months, they've gone from 0 to over 100,000 installs, which is just crazy. They've grown so fast, he's actually had to take a lot of where he was using third-party servers and some tools and bring a lot of it in-house because his demand outpaced what these platforms he was trying to use are. Now, I'm not saying this is perfect in every way. There's no perfect one, especially with how fast AI is changing, depending on what you want it to do. But for me, there's no more battle of the bots because this one takes the cake. It's by far the best. I'm quite technical. CloseBot has a very clean interface. It only does chatbots. If you want to get into voice AI, at least the last time I looked at their platform a few months ago, they did not do voice. They want to be the best chat AI platform. It's a super clean interface. If you're a small business and you want to engage with leads, prospects, current customers, you want to engage with your people in the manner in which they want to engage. If somebody wants to chat with your business, you should have a chat option. If somebody wants to call, instead of getting a voicemail and waiting hours or days to get a call back, or getting transferred to maybe somebody overseas who you can't understand. I've hired quite a few VAs and different things. But if you're an American, sometimes that's not the best user experience, right? What if you had a way where anytime you interacted with the business, whether it was 3 a.m., 3 p.m., 11 p.m., you were always able to get a response, interact. And it didn't matter if it was chat, if it was email, if it was voice. What if one platform could basically handle all of that? You'll see what I mean here in a second. Again, this is an updated battle of the bots, but to me, there's really no more of a battle. This by far takes the cake. So let me share my screen and let's dive in. You can see exactly what I mean. This is Fulcrum Pro. Scoot that over there. This is my white label of high-level CRM. It's built on the high-level CRM platform. It has quite a few features we built on top of it, just like a lot of other platforms, or like if you think about like a phone is built on the Android platform, but then they add their own features and things like that. Fulcrum is built on the high-level platform, but then we add quite a bit of our own. If you're using Fulcrum or high-level or one of the other white labels, one of the nice things is that this AI platform integrates seamlessly with it. So you can add a custom menu link and you never have to leave a platform, which is really, really nice. This is my testing account. If you don't use high level or Fulcrum, some of these other AI platforms are only connected to this one CRM platform. The AI platform, which I'll tell you what it is here in a second, and I'll show you how it's set up. It can now interact and connect with any CRM platform. So it's no longer CRM specific. It's now agnostic. It can work with any and all of them, basically. Okay, so what platform is it? Let me just go ahead and drop the link here. If you go to Assistable AI, I'll drop the link down below. It's my affiliate link. It costs you nothing. I get a little bit of a kickback for using them. I've used them for over a year. That's how much I believe in it. There's a lot of people who only will refer or, do a referral link for whoever pays you the most. I can tell you, I've used this for a year. I've referred dozens of people to it without a referral link, without any kind of payment. Let me know if you use the referral link and I'll hook you up with some bonuses. But here's the platform. If you use Fulcrum or high level platform, you can do a custom menu link, embed it directly here. If you don't, you have your own dashboard, and there's an agency level dashboard and the individual account level dashboard. All right. So you've got your inbox. Oh, one other cool thing about this, the AI basically picks up entire conversation history. So not just the piece that responding to. You could have, 30 or 50 back and forth between contact and a person on your team. And then you can quickly, let's say you then want the AI to take over. The AI has that entire conversation history that it can reference. And so one of the neat things is, like, ChatGPT just rolled out 4.1. The tokens, which is the amount of information it can process, just keeps getting larger and larger. And so essentially, like, the conversation history is, the entire conversation now, which is really sweet. As you can see here, like, one of the nice things, it does have voice and chat. It's all built into one. So instead of building a chat assistant, a voice assistant, like, you build one assistant and it handles voice and chat. And so we'll dive in here in a second. But again, it's just so easy to use. It works so well. And it's based off a tag. So instead of dozens and dozens of workflows or automations to get the AI to work correctly, it's super simple. All right. If you have questions, drop them in the comments. Again, the platform itself is Assistable AI. If you use my link down below, I'll hook you up with some bonuses. I'll give you some templates. I'll help you get all set up and running. Now, if you are interested in what I'm showing you here, but you don't want to set it up yourself, we do offer a managed service where my team and I will set it up for you as the agency or as the business owner. So if you're an agency, we'll set yours up. We'll set the clients up, all your locations and everything. Or if you're a business owner, we can manage it for you. All right, so let's start at the beginning. We'll come to assistants, create a new assistant. A couple cool things. If you have another assistant, so I could give, like, if I have one, which I have quite a few that are just so good, I can give you the assistant ID. You could import the assistant, right? So it's very easy to either duplicate assistants or to move an assistant, copy it over from one account to another. This is the current default setup, which I'll show you here in a second. What's cool is he's recently launched this flow builder, and I'm gonna get into that more in a minute because there's some things in there that are gonna be, especially something that's coming out here in the next little bit, that is just going to, I think, be a real game changer. All right, so creating assistants, and again, I'll show you how simple this is. So we'll come here, we'll do this one, generate assistants. We'll just put test AI, and we can say this is a website AI assistant for Kittinger.com. Actually, if I come here, sometimes if you put a URL in there, it'll actually look and find the URL, and I'll show you like a display down here. You can also check out the samples there. But that's it. Like, you can give it just what do you want it to do? How do you want it to act? And it will actually build out your prompt for you. Now, there are some things that I go back and I put into every one of my prompts. Basically, I have a Notion page that has everything. So here, it's already built all this out for you, which is really cool. Now, again, this is a great starting point. There are certainly some things that I go in and update every time, but you can see here, very cool, very straightforward. It follows this task-based framework, which is really sweet. Next up, if we were using voice, we could give it a phone number. We could come in here and it's got DeepGram, 11 Labs, OpenAI, Play HT. And so you can import any of these voices. You can duplicate or clone your own voice. There's so much it can do. These are just the initial default ones, but you can search and pull in anything. You can tell some of these are the premium 11 labs voices. So again, you have access to literally just, thousands of voices, which is really cool. Calendars, you can directly integrate with a calendar. But what's also really cool is, I'll show you here in a second, I've built some out for clients where I'm thinking of one in particular. They are a pool cleaning business. Depending on what zip code, they have different teams handle different areas. If it's this service in this zip code, use this calendar. It works great. Again, this isn't necessarily a how-to tutorial, so I'm not going through like every single thing, but I just want to show you some of the highlights. So tools, these are already built into the platform. So if you wanted to check calendars and everything, you just check. There you go. We've added all those. If we wanted to be able to send emails, with this, you can also respond to inbound emails. So that same pool company, I have it come in when there's an inbound email. Basically, the AI determines if it's spam, the general business inquiry that the AI can respond to, or something that the team needs to handle. And so depending on what type of email it is, it routes it to the correct place. And if it's AI needs to respond, the AI will respond. And those emails are solid emails, as good, if not better, than what a human would write. You can also extract different information that you need. For instance, on the pool one, we ask, is the pool at a residence, an apartment, a hotel, or a community pool? We ask for type of water. And so we can then extract this information and put it back into the CRM. If it's an inbound call, you can transfer it to multiple places. So if somebody calls in and they ask for Michael Kittinger specifically, transfer the call to my cell phone, for instance. You can add and remove tags. And then this is the one thing that really opens up this platform. You can build these custom tools. For instance, I'll go back to the pool one as a reference point. Not only do they have different zip codes that they have different services and calendars in, but they also have just a general, hey, we will only service pools in this radius. So I built a custom tool that calculates the distance between their office and the pool address. I use a self-hosted N8N, which I used to use Zapier for years. So here's the pool one. Self-hosted basically means I can run 1 million operations for less than $20. I can build any tool with these custom tools. Open it up now and pretty much do anything I want. If that platform has an API, which most things nowadays have, that's really cool. Yes, you have the autopilot. You can pick the different models. You can wait times, temperature, sleep modes, all that. You have the knowledge bases. Output filter, basically you can say never say this word, instead always say this word. And then you have internal team notes that you can just put in here, and then that way it's the AI doesn't use it or anything. This is just for internal reference. So again, super easy to fill out. You can pull in any of your custom tools, fields, or values if it's connected to high level here. So you can pull all that in. Let's say you want to add a snippet. He already has these pre-built snippets. I'll show you here, we'll put in the booking protocol. We can just add that. And now right here, it's put in the booking protocol. So it's already largely pre-built to do the stuff that you want. It's just so cool. You're going to want to go in and make changes here and there, but it makes it largely done for you, right? All right. So now that we've got this AI built, we're going to create a tag. I'm going to name this Test AI 1. Now we got it right here. So we're going to name this AI Test 1. Click that, and it's now added the tag AI Test 1, which you can see there. Now, this isn't necessarily a tutorial. He has it where it automatically creates a tag. If you do this, it's not going to respond correctly, so you need to delete the prior one. The AI is only assigned to one tag at a time, but we can come back and take a look and see that it's Test AI. Now, are you ready to see how complicated this is? Usually I'll specify the different channels. Maybe this is the SMS or live chat widget, but we can just do customer replied. All right, are you ready? There you go. Now, if anybody replies in, the AI is going to respond. When other platforms used to take, call it 8, 10 workflows, and this is all it needs. Now, a couple other things that you could do. So let's say we make this where this is just email. Another cool thing is you've got context injection. So what we can do is add context, and we can say something like user just sent in the following email. If it's a general business inquiry, reply accordingly. If it's spam, we would just put in the ID. So here's the ID. Save. Now when an email comes in, it gives it this context, and because we have the tool send email, it will respond to the emails now. Oh, version 2. So it will now take an inbound email, push this context, analyze the email, and respond accordingly. This is why I really think this platform is the best. I've built quite a few, whether it's the automations on the back-end tools, some unique prompting stuff I've got in there, but you can do phone calls, you can do transfer calls. There's just so much that you can do, and it's so easy to use. So now a couple more really cool things. If you use Fulcrum or High Level or a white label of High Level, they have the chat widget, right? And so you can create a chat widget. You've probably seen, we've had it on quite a few of our websites, but let's say you're not using the High Level platform. Couple things that Jordan rolled out is because he wants to make it to where it's platform independent. And he's built these like orbs, these little modals, where you click here, it's a voice one, you can come and talk to it. But he also has a built-in native assistable chat widget. One thing I really like about this is it has prompts. The response rate is quite a bit higher when you prompt somebody a question, because if it's just like, how can I help you? It's like walking into a store and the person is saying, how can I help you? Or can I help you with something? Your immediate response is like, no, I'm just looking. Even if you go in with a specific purpose, a lot of times you're just gonna say, no, just looking. But if it's like here and it's prompted you these questions, it makes it so much easier for the user, which is how AI identifies the person it's communicating with. But it makes it so much easier for the AI to come in and respond accordingly. And so there you go. I purposely put in a delay to make it a little more human-like, but you can see, hey there, I'm Ava, Michael Kittinger. Fantastic question. How are you doing on this fine day? So good. Now, there's one other thing I really want to point out that I think is just really awesome. The goal of this video is battle of the bots. At least in my mind, having been in AI for a couple years, I mean, I guess you could kind of say I've been in AI my whole life, with my dad being a chess computer programmer. He built all the back end, like what you played against on the Chess Master, Star Wars Chess, all of those programs. But the flexibility and ease of use and just how quickly he's forward thinking, Jordan is. But here's another cool thing, and this will become the one it's just recently rolled out, but it's a flow builder. It gives you a global prompt. You can now have it determine if the user is a current client or not. And then we could have, new pathway. And we could name this prospect, and client. Obviously, you'd want to expand that a little bit more. We bump that to 0.5. Add some tools, save. Boom. And so then we could have another one that's down here, and we can name this client. And so this one could go to qualification state, and then we could build out. Now, the other nice thing is each of the steps here can have its own prompt. So you're not bringing in 100 prompts, you're bringing in just the global prompt about who the AI is, how it responds, like the guidelines and things, and then the individual step. And what's also really cool is the tools are on the step level, meaning that I only need to connect the calendars and the book appointment tools on this step. So that way it's not slowing down any of the other steps with all these extra tools and things that it doesn't need. And this is one of the things I love. Oh, excuse me. Now, the other thing that it's not rolled out yet, but will be coming, is you can have your main global flow There we go. And obviously go in and fill all these in. But what's really cool is, again, it's not out yet, but it's coming, is you can have this global flow, but then you can have different starting points, like one-off starting points. So for instance, again, not out quite yet, but we could have this starting point where it's like, if the user asks to speak with the sales department, use this pathway, something, right? You could have a separate 2-node thing. Maybe this is a call and we transfer the call, right? And then we could have support, or if at any point. So this is very task sequential kind of task based, right? Start here, determine prospect or client. If it's prospect, ask these qualifying questions. They're qualified, cool. Book an appointment. Not qualified, cool. Don't book an appointment. It's very much a linear, sequential kind of order, which is how most AIs operate. You could ask different questions and it'll respond, but it's not the same, right? Because it's following this task-based framework. But when you're able to have different, like, even starting points, you could have one that's like, basically, if the user specifically asked to speak with Michael, or the user is upset, follow this path to transfer the call to Michael. So you see how powerful this is. It's already super powerful. Hopefully you can see that. But when we can have different starting nodes where it doesn't fire off unless that specific thing happens, then we can build all these like very, like kind of, if this happens throughout the conversation without detracting from, here's your main goal, right? Here's your main task. Here's your main sequential events that I want you to take. But if they ask something, instead of getting thrown off by it, we're just going to follow a new pathway. So again, not out yet, is coming soon. But even here with the flow builder, hopefully you can see how powerful this is. And then we could come back here and we'll say like send conversation summary. And now what we can do is this way, regardless of whether it's, for instance, say a prospect or a client or what have you, they all come back and at the end, it's going to send a conversation summary to the person. And maybe it updates the CRM or what have you, So that's one thing I'm super excited. I love the flow builder. All states must have prompts. I obviously didn't put everything in and didn't do all the transitions, but you get the point, right? Like this is one of the reasons I don't really think it's a battle of the bots anymore, because this one has so far exceeded anything else I've used. Now, I mean, there's like Vappy. If you've ever used Vappy, I mean, for voice, it is like insane, but you pretty much had to be like a developer or very, very technical to get it to work. And it broke a lot. Where this, so intuitive and friendly and so easy to set up with the single tag. It's got its own built-in chat widgets, voice widgets that are in the platform, like that are on the Assistable platform. It still connects and will update contacts and conversations and everything. So, and then the custom tools and just, it's so good. So like I said, I've used probably a dozen or more AI platforms. There are some good ones, don't get me wrong. I mean, Closebot, if you just need chat, it's easy to use. It's very smooth. I use Assistable for everything, hands down. Everything I set up, everything I build, like I recommend clients use this. But there are other good, solid alternatives. Closebot is a great one. Consolidata is a good one. To combine voice and chat in one AI assistant, which I don't remember if I showed this or not. Let's hop back here for 1 second. Call settings, silence, background noise and everything, voicemail detection, AI starts, contact starts, incoming call webhook or post call webhook. So here's what I mean. Here's what, again, just these minor things add up to make this a powerful platform. If somebody calls in, it has the phone number, but it may not have any other context or anything. With the incoming call webhook, you could check a database and pull in additional information where basically before it starts interacting with the caller, with the user, it could go check that information or what have you. So super powerful. It could take an inbound call, see if they're a current client, not a current client. It could see if they're on the, I don't know, do not call registry. It could. So there's so many things here that you can do with it. So that's another huge thing is the pre-call and post-call. When it gets done with a call, do you want it to run certain things? So you've got pre-call, post-call. You can always test out the voice and chat here. Now, I mentioned it does voice. I have a client I'm working with, and he does business to business. You do have to be somewhat careful if you're using AI for outbound calls. There's some rules and regulations, compliance stuff. It is much easier to do outbound calls to businesses than to a consumer, to a person's cell phone. But with him, I set up an outbound caller. It made 40 calls and already booked an appointment for him in a matter of minutes. And so with that, like something as easy as, let's say you add a tag or you just add the person, make AI call. And then instead of this, what we can do is we can come all the way down here to the bottom and make AI call, give it the assistant ID, pick what phone number you want, and then you can do these custom variables, which is really cool. So you could say like one of your custom variables could pull in and let's say you import a list of contacts and it's got like what type of business they are, chiropractor, dentist, what have you. So you could put custom variable, you are making an outbound call. This user is a, put in the custom field. So this person is a dentist. This person is a chiropractor. And so you can put in the stuff and then you hit save and the AI will just call and have very human-like conversations and everything. So it is really cool. And I just realized I stopped sharing my screen. Kind of sucks because I think I showed you several things. So hop back here, call settings, silence, basically if the contact doesn't speak for so long. You can do background noises, rules of engagement, detect voicemails. Here's that incoming and post-call webhook. And then here's where I was saying you could set up, make AI do an outbound call. And I've got a client who did this, and in the first 40 outbound calls, it already booked him an appointment. So very powerful stuff. Again, I know the title of this was updated Battle of the Bots. In my mind, there's really not a battle anymore. This platform is so above and beyond anything else I've used. And I've been doing AI specifically for just over 2 years, automations and build outs since 2016. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this updated video. I know it was very one-sided. That's just how I feel today. Assistable just takes the cake. Over 100,000 installs in a year. It does voice, it does chat. It's simple, add a tag, remove a tag. Jordan, the creator, is a great guy. Very smart and fantastic to work and collaborate with. There's a link down below if you would like to use it. You don't get charged anything extra. I get a small percentage. I've been recommending Assistable since I started using it this time last year without any kind of referral link or affiliate link. But yeah, and if you use my link, let me know and I'll send over some bonuses, some prompts. I'll help you set up your first few if you'd like, and we can go from there. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're wanting to get into AI, which if you don't have AI in your business, I used to say in the next 5 years, probably in the next 2 to 3 years, maybe depending on the industry, some may be a little bit slower to adopt, but AI is here. It's here to stay. It is businesses left and right. Between being able to handle inbound calls, make outbound calls, confirm appointments, respond to emails, chat, talk with website visitors, interact, generate leads, qualified leads. If you're not using AI, you're going to get left in the dust. That's not an exaggeration. It's merely a fact of 100 years ago, if you don't start driving a car, you're going to get left in the dust if you're still wanting to use horse and buggy. You can't stop this technology. If you have questions, drop a comment. Appreciate it. And let me know. And I'll talk to you in the video. Guys.